What's up, guys? How's it going, guys? Hey, people. What's up, people? My name's Brandon. This is my very first video on YouTube. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna kind of roll with it, see what happens. At the very least, I'm gonna do something, right? So I figured I'd kind of scour the internet or tackle something that's really near and dear to me. TV. More specifically, I figured I'd do Disney Plus, or as a lot of people like to call it, Baby Yoda Plus. So the cool thing about Baby Yoda Plus is that it has a ton of stuff. Not only new shiny things, you know, Mandalorian, and then also Jeff Goldblum show.
Taste it and enjoy.
But it also has stuff like old Disney Channel movies. And I don't know about you, but I grew up on old Disney Channel movies. Especially like those Disney Channel original movies like Smart House, Blank Check, Brink. Brink was a good one. How do these things hold up? I wonder how good they are today. So I figured I'd tackle one of those. Specifically one of my all-time favorites as a kid, Smart House. Right off the bat, we have this kid who's just god-awful at throwing papers. I mean, he's just chucking shit wherever the fuck he wants to throw it. I mean, it's like, I know maybe people watching this don't even know that used to be a job. You would expect to actually receive your paper on the doorstep, not fucking chucked into your bushes or on your roof like this asshole. So yeah, fun stuff. Great kid.
I will be monitoring your accuracy from now on. Whoa.
Just love this kid's reaction. He's looking at something straight out of science fiction. Smart houses were not a thing. Like, even today, they're barely a thing. Shut up, Alexa. Like, this kid, after he sees this crazy, crazy house with a fucking tentacle coming out of it, he's just like, whoa, whoa. Whoa.
Jump, jump, the house is jumping. Into the sink. Jump, jump, the house is jumping.
Gotta love that soundtrack. I mean, for a Disney Channel original straight-to-TV movie, that soundtrack was banging. As we see Ben, he's entering this contest to win that smart house, and he enters about 50 million times because according to this contest, you can enter an unlimited amount of times. So immediately after we get introduced to Ben, we realize quickly that he's a huge cockblock to his dad.
How's anybody supposed to call us if you're always tying up a line?
We're all here. Who else do you need to talk to?
I mean, he's 13, he must know what sex is, and yet, in his mind, his dad never needs to get laid. Again, soundtrack, bang. Okay, this is my first real qualm of the movie. I think seeing this as a kid, it was really cool. I was like, whoa, a house that can play fetch with a dog? That's awesome. Except when I look through it with my jaded adult eyes, I realized quickly that it's really, really shitty. But come on, I mean, the ball doesn't even touch the ground. It's literally floating in midair. It's like... So this is where we get the first hint of shit going awry. The smoothie maker turns into overflowing fruit, namely oranges. So it goes from overflowing to basically shooting out of tennis ball launchers at the walls, at the windows. The dad screams, "Pat, do something," even though it's the machine messing up. So, I mean, what the fuck is Pat gonna do? Eventually stops trying to kill him with oranges. They ask for Sarah, the creator, to come over. And the kid is still trying to cockblock. That's right. After the computer just tried to kill them, the kid still doesn't want his dad to get laid.
You know, I hear that geniuses are impossible to live with, that they make everyone else around them feel inferior.
Oh, well, then you don't have to worry. I'm not that smart.
No, don't sell yourself short. You should be proud of your big, giant brain.
Am I being set up for something here?
Anyways, Sarah ends up fixing the house. So at one point, Ben asks Sarah if Pat will spy on him in the shower, to which she says, no, I created her very discreet. Okay, so you're saying that she wouldn't compromise any kind of privacy, even though she can literally take your blood sample and analyze your diet, weight ratio, sugar intake, all from your breath from a fucking atmospheric analyzer? Come on. She can see you naked. So after about the third or fourth time of cockblocking his dad and basically saying that Pat would be all the mother that he would ever need, Ben gets this brilliant idea to hack the house. This 8th grader who's never been shown to be any kind of genius or any really kind of tech savvy dude, he's gonna hack into this house, clear all the security measures, and basically reprogram Pat to be as motherly as possible. And do you know how he reprograms her? He literally sets her up to watch a bunch of sitcoms of mothers. But I gotta say, the sitcom names, they're pretty good. They're pretty original. So, you know, a movie from the 90s, it actually had some cool ideas. It was talking about machine learning. It talked about AI. And granted, like, AI was definitely a thing back then, and so was machine learning, but not like it is today. Deepfakes, anyone?
No invasion of privacy.
But also on top of that, it's video chat. And Skype wasn't really a thing back then. And when I say it wasn't really a thing, I mean it was not a thing. I don't know why I said really in there. It wasn't a thing. But the funniest thing is that the angle's not quite right. So you see the actress, for instance, Sarah, is kind of looking off in the distance like, hey Rob, how's it going? And Rob's over here like, yeah, it's going really good. But they're never actually looking at each other, which is the best part.
Anyways.
So Pat becomes motherly and protective, but at the same time, she's going to throw a party for her kids. So that's kind of where we're at now. They start having a party, and this is also where you'll see the first and last Jewish reference ever in a Disney movie. Don't look that up. I love that they make this a party scene, and they have these awkward dance sessions between the kids who like don't know what the fuck they're doing because they're like 14 and they hate being around the other sex. At this point, they throw the party, and Ryan the bully comes over. You know, the one that keeps calling Ben Benny Boy as if that's some kind of insult. So he comes into the house, he kind of trudges around, and then he tries bullying the host of the house. And then, of course, Pat has plans for him by making him the center of attention and shooting lightning at him. You know, normal things. At this point, Pat the house shoves him out the door by using her long metal tentacle arms with sharp, stabby fingers. Yeah, great way to push out a child. So Ryan's outside crying, and Pat the house kind of threatens him and says, like, if you ever mess with Ben again, I'm gonna call you. House call. Yeah, really funny. Really scary. It's a house. It's not gonna chase after you, or maybe it would. Maybe it's, since it's a sentient being, it can hook up to the internet, blackmail you, analyze your blood data. After the party, the house is a huge mess. Pat just says, hey, throw everything on the floor. It doesn't matter. Plates, garbage, physical objects, not just liquid, like just throw everything on the floor. And you know what it does? It sucks up everything. It literally sucks up physical objects. I'm not kidding when I say, like, this was made for a rated R movie. Imagine, this thing could hide bodies. I mean, you never think about that, but I do. I mean, that's fucking crazy. Anyways, somehow Ben's love interest left her sweater on the bush, and that triggers the dad to know that there was a huge house party. One thing that I find kind of ironic is that Ben is allowed to have this love interest, but his dad isn't. He doesn't want his dad to be happy. He just wants to be happy. Kind of like a selfish prick. I don't know. I don't really like him as the main character, to be honest. He's kind of a snob, but maybe that's for the redemption arc of this movie? I'm not quite sure. Yeah, so after the dad reprimands Pat, Pat basically becomes overbearing and overly cautious. So she jumps from being like kind of sweet and caring mom type to being a straight up kidnapper.
Ben.
They look fine. Ow! Cut it out, Pat.
Pull up your shorts.
They're not allowed to leave. They're her prisoners forever, and she's just going to keep them there. Super sweet Disney movie.
As enjoyable as it's been to have you here, Sarah, it would be best for everyone if you went home now.
So somehow after Sarah gets kicked out, she devises a plan to get back in. What she does is she gets the paperboy. That's right. Call back from the beginning. Paperboy comes back. She waits till Pat kind of grabs the newspaper and she jumps through the mail hole, which I wouldn't expect some genius lady to do, but she does it. For some reason, I remember the climax being kind of bigger and crazier in this movie. Basically, Pat just becomes a reprojection hologram of herself. She turns into like 30-foot tall terror woman. She kind of turns into a tornado and trashes the house and tries to kill the family by throwing this temper tantrum, which kind of goes against what she stands for. She's basically saying that she wants to protect and have them there forever, but then she causes a tornado inside the house. Ultimately, Ben de-escalates the situation by talking to her and giving her this riveting speech about how she can never touch him and she's not loving enough because she can't have physical contact with them. So ultimately there's like a time jump, maybe like a day or a month or a year, it doesn't really say, but basically Sarah's now living with them and they're actually still living in the smart house. I thought as a kid that they left the smart house, but it turns out they just stayed in the smart house, with the fucking computer that tried to kill them. Yeah, just live with the murderous robot. I mean, that's always gonna go great. At the end of the day, the movie kind of has this sweet ending. They're living happy as a family, and Pat's happy and under control. And they're having sweets, and the dad wonders, how did they get some sprinkles into these sweets? And then the kid says, oh yeah, I know who did it, and kind of looks and turns to the screen, which is now the physical representation of Pat, looking back at him and smiling, and Ben winks. But the fatal thing that they forgot to do is that Pat doesn't wink back. So it's kind of this weird, creepy transition where Ben winks at her and she just smiles, and then it fades to black. And I hate it. So honestly, after watching this movie and kind of subjecting myself to watching old Disney original channel movies, I have to say I actually still really liked it. I mean, yeah, I was like over-analyzing everything, but it was still fun. It was still nostalgic to me. It was still goofy because like some of the tech kind of checks out today and a lot of it doesn't.
No invasion of
and
privacy.
some of it's funny and the acting's really wooden, but you know what? I don't care. It's great. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Please let me know what you thought about this video. Like and subscribe. And if you didn't enjoy this, well, I'll try better next time. Bye!